Thank you. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents. My name is Jake Humphreys. I'm one of the 4 senior school academic advisors for grade 10 to 12. You'll meet the others in a few minutes. In the grade 10 year, Mr. Marchand and I take some of the planning 10 periods to introduce the grade 10 students to some of the esoterica of post-secondary planning. A lot of what we do as academic advisors centers around that. At some time during the grade 10 year, all advisors also meet with each of their grade 10 students to discuss long-term planning and take a good look at course selections for grade 11. This advising system carries on such that students stay with the same advisor through grades 11 and 12. As we did with grade 9, we'll bring the grade 10 class onto the stage now in groups of about 20 to 25. First group can muster now. Please hold your applause until the last student in each group is on the stage. And grade 10, you're a little larger in some cases than grade 9. Please squeeze up over to the stage right side there if you need to. Each advisor introduces his or her own advisee, and here is my first group. Joseph Avio Pegler. Sorry, Bob, should have. Rachel Benjamin. Emily Berry. Vladislav Brobovnik. Amy Bodine. Riley Boyle. Sophie Butterfield. Karen Kai. No, not here tonight. Layla Cow. Alex Carrion. Liam Cato. Michelangelo Cernucan. Keely Copeland. David Cunningham. Michael Edwards. And Sage Friswell. Ladies and gentlemen, the first group of grade 10s. Now, the head boy and head girl awarded the grade 10 class the honor of being named quietest class in assembly. This really means most polite class in assembly, I think, because we know that this group is full of energy and activity when it counts. For example, grade 10 students have competed in our SMUS Got Talent contest in assemblies and have excelled at such contests as musical yoga balls, Slushy's brain freeze, Hucklebuckle, the Accents Challenge, Siblings Buddy Up Game, the Horse Knights Cavalier Game, International Council's Chinese Translation Competition, the Musical Bouncy Balls Blindfolded Game, and Cormac's Special Obstacle Course. That's quite a feat. Let's meet some of these champions. Sophie George. Kobe Gruel. Christine Han. Byron Huang. Claire Huang. Athena Cairns. Cindy Kim. Colin Knightley. Kieran Large. Matthew Leung. Roland Liaubrière. Anita Lin. Brian Liu. And we'll stop at that. That's the second group of grade 10s, ladies and gents. A day in the life for grade 10 might go like this. A typical grade 10 boarder and a typical grade 10 day student meet on the quad first thing in the morning, the boarder having just finished breakfast at Brown Hall and the day student having just arrived by SMUS bus. One has enjoyed the ministrations of the Brown Hall staff, the other the efficiency of our transport department. As they stand on the quad chatting, a streak passes by them, carrying a list of jobs for the day as long as his arm. That streak is Doug Park, the man who, with his crew, makes sure that the logistics of the grade 10 day are secure. Having barely escaped the vacuum of the Doug Park vortex, the two students head to the library, passing Kathy the gardener and Charlie her dog. Both students notice the natural beauty of the grounds and they appreciate those who keep SMUS looking its best. Throughout their day, grade 10 students are assisted by a wide variety of people who support them in their work. They may visit the tuck shop, the school clothing store, the data center, our boarding services office, the accounting office, and so on. And both will go to sleep at night, I hope by 10 o'clock, clutching their respective teddy bears in the full knowledge that the school family watching out for them is indeed a large and dedicated group. Elizabeth Morton. Song Panvichian. Stephen Piazza. Max Pollan. Noah Price-Baff. Jessica Q. Isabel Scott. Jennifer Shan. Jack Sherrod. Anderson Wang. Jake Wilmot. Colleen Wong. Yvonne Wu. Marina Zhang. Blair Zheng. And that's my last group of advisees, ladies and gents.
Good evening. My name is Ray Casey, and I'll be calling forward the second group of grade 10s, my advisees. The grade 10 class continues a strong St. Michael's University School tradition by excelling academically. In fact, sometimes it is difficult to keep them from overextending themselves. This year, 65 students took courses ahead of grade level. 3 took advanced placement courses, which are first-year university courses. There are 21 students in English as a second language. Not only are these students working in their second language and dealing with a new culture, but they are rising to the top of their class, particularly in mathematics. All of the fine arts are well subscribed, and French and Spanish are the 2 most popular languages being studied by our grade 10 class. On the extracurricular academic front, we have 1 student heading to the Shad Valley program this summer, and we had 1 student win gold at a national science fair for inventing a fully functioning, environmentally friendly flashlight. I'd like to call forward my students now. Matthew Bouchard. Casey Boyle. Angus Cato. Jane Chu. Ryan Cooey. Jansen Gibbs. Stella Hahn. Megan Harrison. Caius Hicks. Nathan High. Emily Hooton. Kara Jebbing. Emily Jordan. Carmel Katumba. Anthony Kinahan. Siri Knutson. And David Lee. Life in boarding centers on laughter, late-night conversations, food, studying, and racing to get first dibs on the washing machine. As always, it was an action-packed year in boarding. As a group, they completed several service initiatives, working hard to eradicate invasive plants, helping the homeless, and cleaning up our beaches. Pardon me. They joined in almost every imaginable athletic and arts-based activity. During their activities around town, they got up close and personal with the goats at Beacon Hill Park and checked out the Christmas lights at Bouchard Gardens. Many of our boarders took opportunities offered to do service work in foreign countries. At home in boarding, there were sleepovers in Wenman, impromptu Gangnam and Harlem Shake dance demos, video game challenges, and of course there was singing. When I asked one boy what his favorite moment was from boarding this year, he responded it was when 3 grade 12 boys welcomed him on his first day by including him in a trip to Hillside Mall. And then he was asked for his assistance as they hauled 3 mini fridges back to their rooms. Without a doubt, camaraderie and inventiveness are alive and well in boarding. Second group, please. Gabby Leon. Sean Lee. Henry Liu. Kenny Liu. Emma Lawton. Ann Makazinski. Mattie McCall. Alex Nezdanilova. Diego Oliveras. Rachel Olson. Leo O. Yang. Douglas Peerless. Sophia Sampson. Kenny Shikoya. Amita Simons-Yu. Justin Say. I think we can squish them on. Edward Wang. Harrison Zhu. And Rain Yang. It's my second group of grade 10s.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Greg Marchand, and I have the pleasure of introducing the third group of grade 10 students. From the basketball courts to the cross-country trails, the waters of Elk Lake to the cricket pitch, grade 10 athletes have competed for the school at not just the junior level, but sometimes even getting called on to support the senior teams. This is the grade that featured, among many other laudable achievements, field hockey playing triplets who constantly confused the opposition, a gold medalist in the BC Junior Closed Squash Championships, and a bronze medal for the junior boys quad crew made entirely of grade 10 students at the National Rowing Championships. For even more students, intramural activities ranging from rock climbing to yoga, from sailing to squash, have kept the grade 10 class embodying the university school motto, mens sana in corpore sano, a healthy mind in a healthy body. Rebecca Bosworth. Jamie Boyle. Alexander Caton. William Chen. Natalie Cherry. Harry Fong. Emmy Galler. Eva Grant. Uma Halia. Alin Halliday. Erli Ahi. Graham Hidley. Dylan Jones. Jiwoo Kang. Sorry, that's Jiwoo there. So Christopher Lee. Kiki Lee. Marco Lee. And Sarah Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, my first group of grade 10. Grade 10 students have contributed in many varied and talented ways in the school's fine arts programs this year. Along with many of you, I've had the pleasure this year of watching and listening to grade 10 students solo at Jazz Night. I've marveled at artwork, some donated to be sold in support of War Child Canada. I've enjoyed grade 10 musical performers light up the stage at the McPherson's Theatre in the Secret Garden, and professionally back up alumna Emily Reed at the Farquhar Auditorium. From playing at the small ensembles concert at St. Mary's Church in Oak Bay to singing in the carol service at Christ Church Cathedral downtown, the performers in the grade 10 class have spread their skills beyond the confines of the school itself to the entire city. Sebastian Luna Broslin. Gavin Maxwell. Emmy McCleister. Grant Nicholson. Tessa Owens. Parashni Pather. Sam Platt. Michelle Song. Owen Soodle. Kyle Tang. John Throne. Tiffany Tien. Julia Weiss. Acacia Welsford. Max Young. And Zishu Zheng. Ladies and gentlemen, my final group of grade 10 students.
My name is Alison McCallum, and I'm the last of the academic advisors. So if my students could start assembling, please. All the grade 10 students took part in outdoor education trip at the beginning of this year. Options included water-based adventures such as sailing, kayaking, fly fishing, scuba diving, and even surfing. Land-based expeditions had students rock climbing, living in a yurt at the eco-village, visiting an oyster farm, and hiking in the backcountry. Educational components were integrated in all the trips, including environmental sustainability, marine life, wildlife, ecotourism, and wilderness skills. Like Vegas, what happens on out trips stays on out trips, but it was widely reported the experiences stretched students in ways that were meaningful, engaging, and fun. So we'll begin with Timothy Bernston. Samantha Bieberdorf. Lisette Cabrera Morales. Emily Choi. Avnashi Singh. James Hayashi. Shelby Hoogland. Prey Lautamatas. Triton Laluski. Catherine Lynn. And Nicholas Loughton. It's my first group of grade 10s. All the students who took part in the experiential program this spring had core academics in the morning, while afternoons were spent out and about in the real world. In the program, students were exposed to a wide variety of hands-on learning opportunities that included glass fusing, bike repair, carpentry, wilderness survival, and even home repair. In addition, they all took part in an alpine winter camping adventure in April, service work, and an out trip to rock climb, hike, or kayak. Now you know that you can rely on some of your grade 10 sons and daughters or their friends to help out a little more around the house and keep the bears away from your campsite. The next group, Sarah Loughton. Flora Manson-Blair. Tatiana Matrick. Aidan McCleary. Jason Scully. Abdul Shakoya. Christina Sipos. Leif Skoglund. Carson Smith. Mackenzie Valentine. Claudia Wheeler. Isabel Williams. Christopher Wu. And Jesse Zeng. That's the last of the grade 10s. I'd now like to call upon Sophie Butterfield, Caius Hicks, Claudia Wheeler, and Nicholas Loughton to present their thoughts on the grade 10 year. Following that, Ms. LaMarche will present the major awards to the grade 10 class.
I'll start off by saying that looking back to starting this year, I didn't want to be here. I don't think I'm alone with saying that I didn't want to come back to school at all, but it's this year that's made me glad I did. I believe that we were all just able to take a deep breath and enjoy it. And while there are those days where we lay in our beds and we think, just not today, please don't make me go today, we all have our place here, our own little spot, our own tiny crack, our own seat in an English class. And no matter how smart or athletic, we have all had those moments where we have sat by ourselves and we thought, wow, I am completely alone. But that clock ticks, that bell rings, it hits 1:15, and we get up, we move on, we find some place, we find someone. And while the textbooks have gotten heavier and the test harder, because we've had our grade, we've had our friends, we are safe. We know that we can go to a class and completely engage in a poem that, you know what, even sometimes the English teachers have to admit that it's bad. But they are still going to teach us it, and we are still going to learn a lesson. And then we can go to a place where we can have friends that we may not ever talk to again, but in gym class we can jump on giant foam mats and just simply have a laugh. As mature as we pretend to be, we're still playground children. No matter who they are, no matter who we are, whether we talk to them ever again, it's all right, because what matters is, right now, right here, you made today okay. You made getting up today worth it for someone, and they did the exact same thing for you. We have built ourselves around each other, planted ourselves so closely beside each other that it's only logical that we have become stronger together. And throughout this whole year, I have seen us grow to be happier. I have seen us not be as lost as we were in grade 9, as scared, as if to have friends with the price we had to pay to not actually do something we were passionate about. That is not the case this year, though. I have seen us being kind. I have seen us help hands in club councils and fairs and just genuinely be nice to each other. And that is what I'm going to take away from this year more than anything. The fact that I can go to any part of the school and someone will welcome me. I can walk along halls and someone will simply say hi. It has made me happier and better than any math textbook ever will. It has made me happy this year to know people I didn't get to know last year because, as many others, I was wrapped up in this distorted idea of fitting in. And while I don't hang out with everyone and while I may not text you up asking you for relationship advice, you are all my friends. Because of what we have been through together, and whether we like each other or not all the time, we have made this year simply bearable for each other. You have made this year better for each other. We are able to look into the crowd and say, you know what, I don't know all of you very well, but I'd like to. And to sit amongst you, I could not be happier. Last year, I may not have thought that I could stand up here and say, I am truly proud to believe in the cliche that we are only going to get better. because each year we get a little less caught up in what others think of us, who we should be, parties to go to, where to sit, getting better, getting 100%, what to say, what is right, and we get a little more caught up in what we learn who we are, what we believe, good causes, great friends, being stronger, smarter, nicer, kinder. And I have to say, you have allowed me to see that actually who I am is better than I'll ever be to anyone on Instagram. So I'm here to say thank you. Thank you to my teachers, thank you to my grade, thank you to my friends, thank you to the people I do not know. Thank you for this year.
Well, hi there, team. I do not have a poem prepared. Sorry for that. Being not only a boarding student, but a new student here at St. Michael's has been something of a challenge. As the generic story goes, I came into this campus with no friends, no knowledge of the teachers, and way less clothing than I was expecting to need. By Christmas, I felt like I had been flung from a catapult. The musical was in full tilt, out trips had come and gone, and I had spent 3.5 months living, eating, and breathing this school. It was around then that I realized how little it mattered regarding how long you had been here. Many of my closest friends had been with this school since elementary, and I was just as involved as any of them. People around here could care less whether you've been here for 3 months or 3 years, because we're all friends here. That's the joy of being a new student. Once you've taken, say, a month to find your niche and build a new comfort zone, you're set for life, because the friends I've made here will last well past graduation. Boarding is an experience much like, say, the experiential program, in that it's hard to explain to an outsider. I could discuss my careful adherence to curfews and check-ins in a desperate bid to not be put in Friday night prep. I could talk about ordinary night prep, where if you're not in your room studying for 2 straight hours and it isn't the weekend, you're not getting your money's worth. Which wouldn't be too bad if you didn't get punished for not getting your money's worth. I could complain to you all about the worst brown hall meals and the worst house games and the worst weekend activities, but I could also choose not to whine about the negatives. I could tell you about the caring house parents who can help you through any trouble that's coming your way, or the peerless tutors and academic assistants available basically 24/7 on campus. I could mention the dedicated Brown Hall staff that feeds our ungrateful bodies 3.5 times a day, or that time when we just played capture the flag for house games, or walking through a serene forested hill with a faint hint of rain keeping you refreshed as you chat and play with your closest friends, and all because Mr. Kerr thought it'd be for the best if you left your room to see actual sunlight. I could go into great detail about any of these amazing experiences, but I think you heard what you needed to hear out of it, so I'll leave it at that and hand it over to Claudia.
This year's experiential group consisted of 43 people, and I think it is safe to say that everyone who was in this program will never forget the lessons we learned, the laughs we had, and most of all, the memories we made. The program offers not only the advantage of having only 3 classes in the morning, but also the ability to discover oneself in ways you would have never imagined. From sleeping in the snow up in Mount Washington to going on a 6-day out trip, we've had so many opportunities to deepen the relationship with our classmates and also to have a break from our hectic lives back at home. Not only do we get to go on week-long out trips, but we also got to learn many different but very important life skills. For example, cooking, sewing, home repair with Doug Park, and raku pottery. We also did a week of service. Some of us had the opportunity to help out in classes at George J., prepare meals at Our Place, pull invasive species, and dance with seniors at Luther Court. This week of service made everyone think about the 3 most important aspects of service: the what, so what, and what's next. And now, during this very busy and stressful week of exams for the rest of the grade 10s, we experiential students have the opportunity to go to tutorials in math, science, and English to help us prepare for upcoming provincial exams. I am so happy I joined this program. Even though at many points during our out trips, I want to give up and go home, I had the support of my fellow classmates to keep me going. I learned so much about myself in ways I had never imagined, and I also got to help others discover things about themselves. This program has let us, as grade 10s, learn many important life skills that even if we may not know it, we will have to use in the very near future.
So where do we go from here? Some of us are going home this summer and won't be coming back. To you we say goodbye, you will be missed. Most of us, though, will be back for a year that should prove to be the most exciting yet. Maybe those involved in the experiential program will miss only having 3 classes a day. But I'm sure that with all the different opportunities with courses, they could find something interesting to do a few times a week. In grade 11, we will even have to start thinking about what we want to study in university and where we want to go after we graduate. Our grade 11 year will be all about the choices we make. Academically, we can choose the number of courses we take, and with the wide range of electives the school offers, there's sure to be something for everybody. We also have the choice of the outdoor leadership program, and if our out trips next year are anything like our out trips this year, we'll have a blast. Our athletes will be competing at the highest level on the senior sport teams, and those who are more artistically inclined will receive the opportunity to take on a greater role in next year's musical productions. I guess what I'm trying to say is that our grade really has an opportunity to seize a leadership role next year. Next year, we will be one of the older grades, and the freedom we receive will be coupled with a greater amount of responsibility. But before next year starts, we will have a nice long summer vacation where we can relax without worries and take time to enjoy ourselves before the tough year ahead of us. So to all of you, have a great summer. Those who are not returning, farewell. To those who are, I look forward to seeing you again next year.
Thank you very much, Kaya, Sophie, Claudia, and Nick. Excellent job. It is now my pleasure to present the major awards for our grade 10 class. Like the grade 9s, there are 2 principal awards, and we have multiple winners. The first award is the Considine Cup. This is awarded to individuals in grade 10 who meet the criteria as an exceptional student with an equal emphasis on scholarship, athletics, fine arts, leadership, and character. The 3 recipients of the Considine Cup are Megan Harrison, Kenny Shikoya, and Graham Hyde-Lay. Congratulations and well done. The second award is the Student Council Award, and it's awarded to a student who has shown outstanding attitude and effort across the board in grade 10. It's my great pleasure to announce 12 worthy recipients of this award for 2013. Please come up to receive your certificates from Mr. Snowden. The recipients are Eva Grant, Graham Hyde-Lay, Timothy Bernston, Megan Harrison, Cindy Kim, Nick Loughton, come on up, Rachel Benjamin, Aline Halliday, Alex Nestelova, Tessa Owens, Kenny Shikoya, and Acacia Welsford. Congratulations. Well done to all our award winners. I would like to remind all the award winners that you can have your photo taken with your respective trophy upon conclusion of our ceremony this evening. And now, please enjoy this next musical piece, The Climb.
Dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying. Gotta keep my head gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's a climb.
The struggles I'm facing, the chances I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most. Yeah, just gotta keep going, and I gotta be strong. Just keep pushing on, 'cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb.
That was a massive wealth spray or cluster of fruit. Or huge swag. Huge swag. So I wanted to thank the academic advisors, Ms. LaMarche, the very creative speakers, including Sophie Butterfield's amazing sentence. And congratulations again to all the grade 10s. So before we conclude tonight with quite literally a song and a prayer, I just wanted to share just a few thoughts. Some of you may have attended Heather Clayton's brain research seminars this year, or those of you who are parents of grade 9 students might recall our discussion about the teenage brain at the very first parent gathering of the year, where I suggested at this stage in this stage in life, teenagers can sometimes have the intellectual equivalent of a smoke detector when it comes to absorbing what parents and other adults want them to learn. Perhaps some of you remember the phrase brain-based learning from Mr. Snowden's blog, or from the events during our power-packed Brain Awareness Week. At the end of the day, I think it's fair to suggest that this was the year of the brain. In fact, this reality really dawned on me when I found myself at an off-campus meeting recently, searching for a jump drive in the bottom of my briefcase. And as I was fishing around, I just sort of nonchalantly unpacked 4 stress ball brains out of my briefcase and put them onto the table as I was searching around. And although these nice educators or non-educators actually, never put me on the spot for an explanation, their judging looks made me pull out my inner teenager voice, and inside I said, "Oh yeah? These brains are off the hook." And you'd be lucky to have one, and I have 4. So it goes without saying that with this theme, brain theme, all of the students in the attendance tonight have heard from more than one of us over the course of the year, including lots from your peers tonight, urging you to get involved, to try your hand at leadership or service, try a new sport, or join a council. Do anything but sit idle. This is not because you need to have a lot of stuff on your record of achievement, but it's because a lot of stuff on your record of achievement is a reflection of an increasingly fit brain. Neurons in your brain, like muscles in your arms and legs, operate, as Judy Willis suggested to us, it's use it or lose it. The more you exercise, the more you are involved in, the more new opportunities you take on, and the more you do, the more your brain will strengthen and bulk up. Conversely, if you sit idle and watch from the sidelines, if you never take a service trip, try your hand at public speaking, or do anything that requires new learning, a new experience, your brain neurons can begin to atrophy just like unused muscles. With that said, never is this relationship with your brain more critical than during these teen years. So, adding a lot of stuff to your record of achievement, and not just academic stuff, indicates a brain that is getting a fantastic workout. So to the grade 9s and 10s, this message I will leave you is it's for you to think about this. You are the engineers of a very important stage in your brain development, and everything you do during these years will set you up with the skills you need to help negotiate any hurdle on the road to your version of excellence. So when you return in September, be ready to try new things and step outside your comfort zone. This will be a time in your life when being selfish, which is often spun as a negative, may be the most positive thing you can do for your future. That will be your challenge, and by all accounts, tonight you are well on your way. So now, with the help of Colleen Wong on the piano, we will sing the first verse and chorus of the school song, which will then be followed by Reverend Fletcher with our closing prayer.
Remain standing. I invite you to join me in prayer. Let us pray. Gracious God, it is the end of term, the formal closing of the academic year. But we aren't celebrating the passing of time. We're celebrating our growth in body, mind, and spirit. It hasn't always been easy, but students, faculty, and staff alike, we have grown. We give thanks for those who helped us on our way, those who inspired us, those who encouraged us, even those who prodded us along so that we could step beyond who we were. In a few short days, exams will be over, summer begins, September awaits. And hopefully all the while we will continue to grow, to climb in who we are and what we can offer this world. So for this endless possibility of growth and for this year, we offer our thanks. So we pray, Amen. Now that we have ended with a word of gratitude and one last housekeeping reminder that major award winners, please gather here for photographs right after. Now it's time to go and be zesty, apparently. Enjoy your break. Enjoy using your brains. See you in September. Vivat!